there, folks. Do you have some rickety old cubes just sitting on some shelf all mixed up, mocking you and your family for generations? If so, you've come to the right place. I want to tell you about two cube solving apps, CubeSnap and CubeSnap2, that can solve these four and many more quickly and easily. No turmoil, no heartache, just bragging. If you have to, it's your decision. I'm not going to judge. Kids, let's be smarter than your parents. Parents, let's get some respect back from your kids. Grandparents, it's never too late.
Whoa, hey there, future CubeSnap dude here. It seems that it took you 20-something minutes to just get through the 3x3 solver. So this video will be dedicated to just the 3x3 solver. Feel free to continue.
Play that CubeSnap music.
The cubes that both CubeSnap and CubeSnap2 can solve are the 2x2, 3x3, 4x4, 5x5, and the void. In addition, CubeSnap can solve the Pyraminx, the Scube, and the Mirror Cube. CubeSnap2 can solve the Gear Cube, Sudoku Cube, and a 3x3 with a twisted middle center. Here you can see this. And here, CubeSnap2 can fix that. Alright, the fun part. Before I do my in-depth tutorial, I want to just very quickly solve a 3x3 to show generally how these apps work and convince those impatient or skeptic viewers that these apps are legit. Immediately after solving, I will go much slower and really dig into the full feature set so you can be a pro at the CubeSnap series. Alright, let's do this. To start off, we have two fresh downloads, CubeSnap and CubeSnap2. We will jump right into CubeSnap2. Straight to solvers. Let's make sure to take good pictures. I'll explain more later. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is take a picture of the blue side with the yellow side facing up. Smash that camera button. Boom. Alright. Next side, orange side. There we go. Okay, green side. Keep following those instructions. The red side. This is going real quick. Alright, the yellow side. And then a quick 180 down to the bottom. And we have our sixth side. Great. Quick solve. Let's not apply a pattern. Alright, as you can see, we are finally on the solving screen. So what we want to do now is make sure your cube is situated like the one on your device. So what that means is that the blue side should be facing you and the yellow side should be facing up. Let's jump into it. To get your instructions, just tap the screen as you see. When you see that screen turn purple, that means turn twice. When you see that screen turn green, that means just turn that side once. Now, there are lots of other things you can do while on this page. You can just get the full list of turns, or you can share those turns with people you care about. You can press the redo button to just see that turn again. You can change the speed at which the cube turns, so you can have it turn very slow or very fast to meet your comfort level. Also, if you get tired of touching the screen, you can just press the play button and it'll continually turn without you having to press the screen. So this can be pretty convenient. As you can see, the cube is already solved. If you want to see the full tutorial on all the stuff CubeSnap and CubeSnap2 can do, please stay tuned. Okay, so I suspect a lot of you are thinking that last section was way too fast. So now I'm going to start over and go much slower and explain in detail how to enter your cube, the different ways to enter your cube, what to do if your cube looks different. You're all covered. Let's go ahead and jump right into CubeSnap2 and start over. Let's take a quick look at the menu options. We've already gone into solvers. Customize. This is a helpful tool if you have a funny looking cube. I'll explain more later. Virtual cubes. It's like a cube playground. It provides a way for you to see those cubes get solved. Patterns. If you have a solved cube and want to show off a bit more, patterns are for you. Tutorials. links to CubeSnap videos, 3x3 solving tutorials, and animated algorithms to help you solve your 3x3 on your own there if you're interested. Now, camera. I'll be honest, your camera output will stink if you're doing one of the 3 sins shown there on the bottom. That is, if your lighting is inconsistent, you have big shadows, you are not aligned, I suggest using your camera in a sunlit room. Okay, more solvers, buy CubeSnap Original for either the Pyramix Cube and Mirror Cube, and contact me, email me on the bottom there. Let's go solve a 3x3. We are looking at the cube entry screen. We have our camera view up top, instructions below, and a 3D render of a blank 3x3. Let's jump into the entry menu. Here we can toggle the way we enter the cube. So we can do manual, type in the colors individually, and look at the cube in 2D instead of 3D. Let's see what that looks like. There we have it. Now we can just kind of type in our colors individually on a boring 2D cube. Let's go back. So let's change it back to camera in 3D. Now let's look at what that looks like as a 2x2 solver. There we go. That's how we change solvers. Now maybe we can go to a 4x4. There it is. And 5x5. We can show more later, but for now, let's get entering a 3x3. So let's talk about how to enter different kinds of cubes. Here you see cubes that have black frames and white frames, that have black instead of white. There are even some cubes here where the center colors are even in the wrong position. So by default, CubeSnap thinks that your cube looks a certain way. And we're going to talk about this standard cube right now. So here I'm showing a standard cube, and what that means is that if the blue side is facing you, and the yellow side is facing up, the orange side should be on the left, the red side should be on the right, green should be in the back, and white should be on the bottom. Now let's talk about these two cubes that will give you some trouble right out of the box. So the one I'm holding now is a V cube. And so as you can see, the center colors are mostly in the right position, right? Right until we get to where the white's supposed to be, and it's black. So we're going to need to change the white color into a black color, and then everything is going to be fine. And now we have this cube that's totally weird. My friend must have put the stickers on this cube incorrectly 30 years ago or whatever. So with this particular cube, if the blue side is facing you and the yellow side is facing up, the red side is on the left instead of the orange. So that's no good. And the orange side is on the right instead of the red. So there's another problem. The back has white instead of green. This is just a complaint email waiting to happen. So hopefully you watch this, complainer. And then on the bottom, instead of white, we have green. So we have a major problem here, and I'm going to show you how to fix this. How are we going to set up CubeSnap so that it recognizes our weird cubes? Simple enough. We are going to press the color button. There we go. Immediately on the bottom there, you see a bunch of color palettes. These all assume that your cube is normal, more or less. You might have more like a pink than a red or a lighter blue, but it still assumes the orange on the left, the red on the right, the green in the back, so forth, except for that second one where it assumes a black instead of a white. So if you had this V cube here, all you'd have to do is select the second color palette. There we go. Also, you have the option to make the frame light. And let's see what that looks like. Now we have a cube that looks more like our V cube. Okay, so now we know what to do in that case. Back to the seriously messed up cube. So we're going to have to go direct into the colors to fix this one. So the first thing we're going to need to fix is the left side. the red side. Okay, so here we have kind of a dark red, so we're gonna adjust this so that we get our dark red. You can learn your RGB values and how to manipulate them to get colors here in this app. An extra learning opportunity for you. Okay, so now let's go to the... I was gonna drag this out, but you get it. Just fix each side and then you're good to go. At this point, we could enter this messed up cube. I would like to enter with a cube that looks more like the one you probably have, so it's easier to follow along. So what I'm going to do now is discard this cube and bring back the regular looking one, and I'll set the color template back to the standard one. And now we are ready to enter this cube, which most of you have. So the first thing I want to do is go back to the 3D look by holding that 2D view. And now we need to make sure that our cube is situated correctly. So that means the blue side facing you and the yellow side facing up. Then just tap that camera button, check your work. Looks good. Then you can tap that next button. Now we're on the orange side. Make sure that the orange side is facing you, yellow side facing up. Smash the camera button. Check your work. Better to get it corrected now than later. All right, green side. Make sure the green side's facing you, yellow side facing up, and hit the camera button. Voila. Perfect so far. Now there will be times that it's going to get your colors wrong. Maybe it could get a lot of colors wrong, unfortunately, depending on the light and the way your camera has learned. But you can make a correction directly on the color by pressing it and then selecting the right color. So I went ahead and showed you how to change it to white, then back to yellow. All right, the red side. Again, let's make sure the red side's facing you, and the yellow side facing up. Follow the instructions. And it's all good. All right, for the next side, we have to do a complex turn here such that the yellow side is now facing you, and the green side is facing up. All right. So let's hit that camera button. Looks good. Just one more side. Okay, now I want to enter in a slightly different way with the 2D view and manual entry. All I need to do is just hold the camera button down, and now I have my manual controls. And we can just type in the colors directly if that's what you prefer to do. So typing in, quite easy. Now with this next one, it'll be the last color and we'll go straight to the solving options. Okay, we have two solving options. The first one is Quick Solve, which uses a computer algorithm that is far too complex for our puny human brains, though it does get your cube solved in no more than 21 moves. The other option is Teacher Mode. This kind of teaches you the fundamentals of solving a cube in a really rudimentary way with just a few algorithms. It's a great way to get started, gain some confidence, and then you can build off that and become a better cube solver. Let's continue by pressing the Quick Solve button. That'll take us to our pattern options. By default, it takes us to checker. So there's a long list of patterns you can choose from. There's the bottom one. If you want to check out your pattern, you can just pan with 2 fingers. I'll go back and take away the pattern. So we have no pattern here. But in the end, I want to solve to dots. And let's check out dots with our 2-finger pan. All right, looks like fun. And here we go. Okay, we are ready to receive our instructions. Now let's do a little tour around this page before we start so you can be a pro like I promised. So we can go back home. We can press the list button there, which gives us a full readout of all the turns up to the solve and then the pattern if you have one. So that's handy if you want to go more quickly and you know that notation. You can also press the share button, which means you can send those moves with nice little pictures for how to solve the cube. So Let's say that your friend really wants to solve the cube. You enter it for him. You can just send your friends the moves, get your phone back, and then resume doing the amazing stuff you do every day. If you need to, you can redo a move. If you missed it, you can change the speed at which the cube turns. So from pretty fast to pretty long. You can fast forward all the way to the end, if that's something you're into. Again, it solved it and then it went to the dot pattern. And there we go. Okay, no more delay. Let's solve this thing. The first thing you want to do is make sure the cube you're holding is situated like the cube you see on the device. So that means the blue should be facing you and yellow should be facing up. Begin by touching the screen. When you see that it's purple, that means turn it 180 degrees. When you see that it's green, it means turn it 90 degrees. Each time you turn, make sure that your cube looks like the one on the device. Okay, so what I want to do now is actually just go ahead and press the play button, which means that it'll just continually go without me having to touch the screen. I'm going to follow step by step. You can always pause if you need to. And make sure you set it at a speed that you're comfortable with because you don't want to get off track. So you can go back and forth to find your place. All right, so I'm going to pause and finish the solve manually. And I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Okay, just one more move to solve. And there we have it, a solved cube. It works. Now, one thing you may have noticed is that we have the formal notation on the top, and we have which turn you're on out of how many there are. So that may be helpful for you. Now what we're going to do is continue. I press the play button and we're going to make the dot pattern. Just a few more turns. And we're there. We have our dot pattern. Now we can keep it like this, or we can decide to remove the pattern by pressing the back button. It's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and press the back button and get it back to its solve state. Okay, just one more move. And there we have it. We solved it, made a pattern, and then we brought it back to the solve state. Okay, so I just want to show you one more thing, and that's the redo button. So here we go. It's showing you how to redo the last move in case you missed it. Okay, so back to the solve state. Forgot I did that. Anyway, this kind of takes you through the end of the solving the 3x3 with quick solve. There's so much more to learn and so much more to get from this app. Okay, so because this video has gotten so long and I've just gone through one solver, I'm going to shut it down and I'm just going to have to go through the features on all my apps in a series of videos. In the next video, I'll continue with the 3x3, but I'll show you how to use CubeSnap to learn how to solve the 3x3. There are a lot of cool tools on there. One last thing, there are cubes out there that are impossible to solve. This happens when you have a cube, you drop it, a piece flies off, and then you put that cube on differently, then the cube is impossible to solve. So if you see that the cube is invalid or whatever, that's why. However, with CubeSnap 2, you do have the option to then
get the instructions to solve it all the way up to when there's just, that twisted corner and that messed up edge. And then it'll be obvious which ones you have to fix to make that cube solve. I know there are a lot of cubes out there that are messed up because I have a toddler, he touched my cube for 2 seconds and it was broken and impossible to solve. So I have more sympathy for all of my customers out there with these impossible cubes. Okay, thanks for watching. Catch you later. Peace.